The elders often say that when the river changes course, even the strongest boats must adjust their sails. Today, that river of justice has shifted dramatically for a former pillar of the nation's legal system, as the Federal High Court in Abuja nullified the bail previously granted to ex-Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, his wife Asabe Bashir, and their son Abdulaziz Malami, ordering their immediate remand in prison facilities over money laundering charges. This ruling, delivered on February 27, 2026 by Justice Joyce Abdulmalik, marks a sharp reversal in a case that has gripped public attention since the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission first brought the allegations forward. The trio, who had been out on bail since early January, now face detention pending fresh bail applications set for hearing on March 6, underscoring the relentless pursuit of accountability in high-profile corruption matters. This na confirmed street news. Now waiting we hear with the report, but be sure say na confirm. Abeg, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and drop a comment to help us grow and bring you undiluted news. The court's decision came during the re-arraignment of the defendants on an amended 16-count charge bordering on money laundering under the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022. The prosecution alleges that between July 2022 and June 2025, Malami and his co-defendants conspired to disguise, conceal, and launder proceeds of unlawful activities amounting to approximately 8.7 billion naira, specifically 8,713,923,759 naira 49 kobo. Upon rearrangement, all three pleaded not guilty to the counts. The EFCC's case claims the funds, purportedly from public sources, were moved through various means, including the acquisition of properties and companies to hide their origins. Justice Abdulmalik, presiding over the matter after its reassignment from previous judges, declared that the earlier bail granted by Justice Emeka Nyite on January 7, 2026 could no longer stand because the case transfer effectively terminated prior proceedings in this new judicial context. The judge emphasized that the Federal High Court operates as a single entity and fresh applications were required. If this unfolding development in Nigeria's fight against financial crimes is capturing your interest, take a moment to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments on what this means for accountability at the top, and subscribe. We'll bring you every significant update as this case progresses. To appreciate the weight of today's ruling, consider the broader backdrop of Malami's tenure and the trajectory of this prosecution. Abubakar Malami served as Attorney General and Minister of Justice under the previous administration, a role that placed him at the helm of legal affairs, including oversight of anti-corruption efforts. His time in office was marked by high-profile prosecutions and policy decisions, but it also drew scrutiny over perceived inconsistencies in handling certain cases. The EFCC's investigation into these allegations began gaining momentum after his exit from office, leading to initial arraignment late last year. The defendants were first remanded in December 2025 before securing bail with conditions including substantial sums and property sureties. The case's reassignment, following withdrawals by two prior judges, brought it before Justice Abdulmalik, prompting the EFCC to re-arraign on the amended charges. This procedural shift, while routine in complex trials, has now resulted in a return to custody for the family. Key actions define the day's proceedings. Prosecution counsel Jibrin Okutepa, a senior advocate, informed the court that this was the first appearance before the new judge and pushed for the defendants to take fresh pleas, arguing that previous bail terms did not automatically carry over. Defense lead Joseph Daudu, also a senior advocate, reminded the court of the January bail grant and urged adoption of those existing conditions in the interest of justice, noting the court's unitary nature. Justice Abdulmalik, however, ruled that the reassignment reset the process, nullifying the prior bill and mandating new applications. She ordered Malami and his son Abdulaziz to Kuje Correctional Center in Abuja, while Asabe Bashir was directed to Suleja Medium Correctional Center in Niger State. The adjournment to March 6 sets the stage for arguments on whether bail should be reinstated, potentially with modified terms. The implications ripple across multiple spheres of Nigerian life. Politically, the remand of a former AGF, a figure who once prosecuted others on similar charges, highlights the EFCC's determination to pursue cases without regard to past status, potentially strengthening perceptions of impartial anti-corruption enforcement under the current administration. Yet it also raises questions about the treatment of high-profile defendants, with some viewing it as a test of whether justice is truly blind or influenced by political transitions. Socially, the involvement of family members in such allegations stirs discussions on how personal and professional lives intersect in public office, prompting reflections on ethical boundaries for officials and their households. Economically, the alleged laundering of nearly 9 billion naira in public funds, if proven, represents a significant loss that could have funded infrastructure, healthcare, or education, underscoring the broader cost of corruption to national development. From a security standpoint, while not directly violent, these cases contribute to public trust in institutions. Prolonged high-profile detentions can either bolster confidence in the rule of law or fuel narratives of selective prosecution if not handled transparently. Public reactions have been swift and polarized, mirroring Nigeria's divided views on corruption and power. Supporters of anti-graft drives, including many civil society voices and online commentators, have hailed the court's move as a bold step toward ending impunity, arguing that no one should be above the law, regardless of former position. They point to the EFCC's persistence as evidence of institutional strength. On the other side, some observers and Malami's associate have questioned the timing and procedural aspects, suggesting the reassignment and remand might reflect overzealousness or political motivations. Defense arguments about continuity in the judiciary have resonated with those who see the decision as harsh, especially given the earlier bail compliance. Social media platforms have buzzed with debates, memes, and calls for fairness, with hashtags amplifying both sides. Many Nigerians express a desire for the trial to proceed swiftly and transparently to clarify the facts. Looking ahead, the March 6 hearing will be crucial as the court weighs fresh bail applications amid arguments over flight risk, evidence tampering, or public interest. If bail is granted again, conditions could be stricter to address prosecution concerns. Should it be denied, the defendants remain in custody as the trial advances toward full hearings on the merits of the 16 counts. This could extend over months, given the complexity of financial evidence and potential witnesses. Broader ramifications might include reforms in how bail is handled in reassigned cases or renewed focus on asset recovery if forfeitures are pursued. For the EFCC, a successful prosecution would mark a landmark in holding former top officials accountable. An acquittal could prompt scrutiny of investigative methods. Either way, the outcome will influence public confidence in the justice system and anti-corruption crusade, possibly shaping discussions around governance and ethics in future administrations. Connecting this story to other high-profile matters, such as the ongoing appeal in Nnamdi Kanu's terrorism case, where judicial fairness and procedural integrity are also under intense scrutiny, this remand reinforces how Nigeria's courts are navigating sensitive cases involving prominent figures. Both instances test the balance between security concerns, individual rights, and institutional credibility, reminding citizens that justice must not only be done, but be seen to be done equitably. As this story continues to develop with potential bail hearings next week, if you found value in this detailed breakdown of a pivotal moment in Nigeria's anti-corruption journey, please like the video, leave your perspective in the comments, and subscribe to stay connected. We're committed to bringing you balanced, in-depth coverage on the issues that shape our nation.